All right, Sister Deborah, prophetess in the wilderness. And you know what? That's all right with me coming again on this Deborah platform with another message. And I will say that this is a day in which the Most High Yah has made, and I, Sister Deborah, shall rest therein. Just coming today with a wonderful message. This is a really I would say, important message. And I hope that you would have pen and pencil so you can write these things down, and please speak these things into others' ears so they too can know what is actually taking place in this day and time that is not being spoken by many on these platforms is because this is a season that the Most High has made, and He is allowing really want to really understand what's going on with those who are now hiding and behind their pulpit, I would say, or shaking in their boots, and they're now don't have that message really that will allow you to really embrace exactly what's going on so that you can be able to walk with the assurance that all is well in Yah. And if it's all well in Him, then we have to also embrace it as if He has it in full control, because He do. I mean, He got it. He got this thing, you guys. He got it. This message is going to be a host of a lot of things that is taking place on the earth today, and I want to just put a little something in your ear and hope that your spirit will receive it. And if your spirit receive it, then it will cry out to the Most High Yah for directions, for comfort, and for assurance that we are going to be okay. You know, we are going to be okay. The message that I am planning on uploading, is a message He gave me about a woman in travail, a woman in labor. And He wanted me to let you all know that's where we at. That is where we at today. Except for the labor pains already started. It started 4 weeks ago. That was the one when He told me about the third stage, and that it's going to be worse than the second stage, which was the CDC fake virus. A lot of people on the platform, they accuse the Most High of putting this CDC germ as a plague from the Most High. If you see how messy this plague was and this pandemic, it is really messy. It is all over the place. And they still, right today, is about to cause such a large turnout to take place regarding us as a people. Why? It's because we are now in travail. We are now in labor. We are just starting the labor pains. And throughout the labor pains, we're going to start off like we are now. It's going to get, women, you sit down, talk to our men, explain to them the whole ideal of how it works. A lot of them think they know more than we do. But one thing they don't know, now I ain't gonna say one thing, there's many things they don't know. And because they have not allowed the Ruach, which many call the Holy Spirit, to live in them and be exactly what Yeshua said it would be. It will be a comforter. It will be a teacher of all things. It will show you things to come, and it will reveal things to you, back to your remembrance. So these things, the Spirit has to be in you to be able to do it, but it can't come in your flesh. It has to come in your spirit. So if your spirit has not been identified in you, then therefore there's no way that the Most High is going to allow His Spirit to abide in you. So if you don't know about your spirit man that rests in you. Now the book of John 1 and 4 and verse 4, verse 5, verse 7 and verse 9, it tells you that the Most High said that the darkness, which is your flesh, will not was not comprehending the spirit that he put in you, he's not lying. It is true even to today, the year 2020. That's why people are running to and fro trying to get a good message from someone or anyone. They're not, because they want their flesh satisfied and not their spirit, to where they can have their spirit fulfilled by the Most High Yah with his Ruach, and then have Hamashiach be their inside power. But because they don't have a spirit where they can abide, because their spirit is still under subjected to their flesh, it hasn't gotten on top and ruled yet. So until your spirit is here and it can tear your flesh down and control your flesh from this level, so you can be able to actually understand what's actually taking place today and from today on. But that's a big thing in the community of the tribe of Judah. It's just something that our so-called kings and leaders are not willing to take their people to that level, because if they take them to that level, then their spirit will be able to discern who they are. And because they don't want you to really know who they are, and it's in hiding for them. But see, I have the spirit, and I also have the spirit of discerning, so I know who they are. So that's why when I'm on here, I'm constantly talking about these kings, so-called kings, and these leaders. And right today, you see they shaking in their boots, and they're not out there trying to get their nation or give their nation anything. They're more so on these platforms still trying to see how they can feed you and deceive you. Now, I want to give you the message that the Most High has given me. And I want to let you know, he said that what we are going through is a birth pain. Like I said, women, describe to the men what it really is like and how it started, and what is it when it first started, and how do it start, and how long it take, and what is the heart of it, where it gets real tense, and then stealing out, the baby is still sitting there with his head. Now, no one birthed a child without a doctor, a midwife, a woman, someone hands there to help guide the head out the proper way. When the Most High is the hand, his right hand is going to be the one that's going to birth us and bring us forth out of this travail in which we're going through. So he's going to be at the other end to birth us out. And after a woman has a child, let the women explain how it feels, so the men may understand that we are truly in labor, and there is going to be great sorrow and things taking place that has never. And you're going to experience things you have never experienced. But understand, the Father's right hand is going to guide that head. That is head of Israel in the tribe of Judah out of that birth canal. He's going to draw, he's going to bring you out, and know that you're going to be in his hand from that day on. Now, the world don't know anything about this, and they're not going to know it. Even if they heard me, they're not going to understand it, because it's not for them. It's for those that are elect, that the Most High Yah knows. Like he said, if it was so, it would fool my very elect. That's what this message is for. But I'm also sending this message out there to those who are laboring among the people. Okay, I mean, really desiring to labor among the people and get the people to a level where they are getting their flesh under the subjection to their spirit, so we can cry out to the Most High Yah. And we know that, I know for sure, without a doubt, that he's bringing the right hand, because he told me. But in these here topics I'm going to give you, these are some of the topics that's already at the beginning of labor. Okay, while we in this travail, this is the beginning. Okay, first of all, what is going on is really not about a George, okay, and a murder, or even though we know that that's what took place, we saw it in plain view. But all of this that's going on is a trap. It is a setup. Now, was George set up to die the way that he died? Not in man, but in Yah. Everything that come in must go out. Do it go out when we says it go out? Do it go out when we think it should go out? And the way that we, no. When the Most High said to death, go get my breath, my light and my breath, not the light, go get my breath. Death goes get the breath and bring it back to the Most High Yah's bosom. Give it back to the Most High. The Most High brings it to his bosom. But the light that was in George is at sleep. It's out. It's sleep. Okay? But the Most High carries the breath that he loaned George. You know? That same breath was charged, death was charged to go pick and bring it back to the Most High. If death could tell, when the Most High tell death to go bring him the breath of life of Deborah, you think death has the right to tell him that Deborah's on YouTube teaching? Deborah's flying a plane? Deborah's doing this? It doesn't matter. Death obeys the Most High just like the oceans, the sea. We as humans is the only one that don't. And I think that's really sad, especially his chosen people. The only one on earth that don't obey him, but think that everybody the worst of the worst and we are the goody two-shoe. That's kind of sad. No one ever even think of it like that. They just figure, oh, we the one. But yes, you are the one that is the worstest group of people on the face of the earth, because you're the only one that has rebelled against him throughout time. And that's why you're required to repent. It's so he can feel good that he has chosen you, because you have now know how to say, Father, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So that makes him feel that, okay, you are sorry. So, I'm sorry too, but you know how to say that you're sorry. But just walk around as if there's nothing you done and everybody's bothering you and everybody's messing with you. That's not reality. It appeared that way, but that's not reality. Okay, now the whole idea about George, okay, this is the start of the third stage. Not the start. Let me get that right. It started 4 weeks ago. Okay, the third stage started 4 weeks ago. And just like a woman that's in labor, it never starts hard and hurting and bam, here it go, or there it is. No, it doesn't work like that. It always starts sometimes a day before. It starts off with light cramps. It's never heavy. Oh, I'm finna birth. You know what I'm saying? I'm finna have my child. It's never like that. And a lot of us women, we can vouch for that. I'm a mother of 6, and let me tell you, it never has been like that with me. Where I'm going through this here labor pain, and it's just, within an hour, bam, 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 bam. No, it has not. Now, there are some people who goes fast because they don't never, and a lot of times it's people first time, they never really remembered or knows what it is like at the beginning of the labor. A lot of people ignore the pain because it's not really nothing to really focus on or to get. Even though you up to your due date, but you still don't think nothing of it because it's not the pain that you're really looking forward to. You're looking forward to that hard labor pain. So this little pains, you don't get all excited and, oh, I'm in labor. So that's where we at, and the people are not paying any attention because they don't see it's need to be excited about what's actually going on. They are in labor. Okay, the Most High created everything to wrap around a woman in travail. A woman in labor. That is so beautiful. That is such a blessing thing for you women to know that the majority of everything that has taken place of sorrow and heartache in the biblical word, in the beginning to the end, is always described as a woman in travail, a woman that's in labor. Everything. And he calls it that. Okay. It is a blessing to know that. because he's matching life as it is on earth. It's like unto a woman that is in labor. So he's telling you women, you done birthed the sorrow that many has not felt. So wake up. Know that there is a purpose and a reason for you. And that you are not to just live what little life that you have, just being a slave to people who wants to put you in bondage, because it only makes them who they are. If you are not just in a captivity, in a land of captivity, and then those who wants to be so bad, kings and leaders, they got you in another captivity, and you're playing it for what all it's worth. But you don't hear none of these ways coming out of the mouth of Yah. You hear them coming out of the mouth of man, but you don't hear them coming out of the mouth of Yah. And then what he say, put your trust in no man. But we trust every word that comes out of the mouth of man, even in this book. We need to learn to rightly divide it. We need to separate what comes out of the mouth of man from what comes out of the mouth of Yah. We don't dissect what comes out of the mouth of Yah. That's power. But we dissect what comes out of the mouth of man to make sure it is lining up with what comes out of our Father's mouth. If it is not, then we have to dissect it and rightly divide it. You remember when they went to trying to test Yeshua, telling him, or it's Moses said this. He said, yeah, Moses most likely probably said that. I don't have no issue with that. But let me tell you, from the beginning, first he said, have you not read? From the beginning. And the reason why he said, have you not read, is because even to today, in the year 2009 and 2020, we have women that refuse to get into that word under the Ruach and read, so that they may know spirit and truth. So therefore, they are not in tune with their spirit, because they are led by control. Because this is what they're teaching them. Oh, you have to be like this. You have to look like this. You have to act like this. You have to be like this. And all these ways that they're talking about is only for the flesh. Now, what did the word of come out of the mouth of Yah say? You worship me only in spirit and in truth. So how is my head being wrapped? The way I dress being tamed by men? How is that worshiping Yah? When Yah knows that your spirit has to worship him. And once your spirit is in tune with him, anything that's out of order, you would hear it coming out of the mouth of Yah or coming out of the mouth of Yeshua HaMashiach. And it's just like Christian. You never heard Yeshua say Christian. You never heard the disciples say, not one disciple say, Christians. We are Christians. You never heard Yah in the old say anything about Christians. But we heard man say it, and we took on it and made it what it is today, and wonder why is it where it's at today. Anything man put his hand in and his mouth in, it's going to blow out of proportion. Because if you're not serving the Most High Yah in spirit, you cannot serve him nor worship him in your flesh. Now let's get to these things that the Most High wants you to be aware of. He wants you to first understand that you have an identity, but your true identity is your spirit, not your flesh. So when you're running around trying to fulfill the things in the flesh to please and to do this and to do that, he's letting you know that's an identity that he know not of. Your true identity is in your spirit. If you're going to represent the Most High Yah, it cannot be in your flesh. So that identity that you have made upon yourself and you have categorized yourself and made yourself to be, that does not worship the Most High Yah. He said your true identity is in your spirit. Recognize that. And if you don't know who your spirit is, he said go to John chapter 1, verses 4, verses 5, jump down to 7, and then jump down to 9. He's letting you know I gave it started off with man. And every man's seed that he has, everyone that comes from him, is going to have the same light that I put in him. Every man that's born has this light. It is a spirit. That's the only part of you that can worship the Most High Yah. So when you're on these websites and you're on these YouTubes and these Facebook and these Patriots and all these other things that's booming up now, you still ain't worshiping him because you sitting in the midst of a man, listen to him teach you. You still ain't worshiping Yah sitting on this platform, listen to Deborah speak the way she speak. You only can worship him if you hear what Deborah is saying in your spirit, not in your flesh. Because your flesh has its own way of thinking and your spirit has a way which is good that thinks. It's not going to let you, the flesh is not going to let you hear the good. It's going to always try to defeat the fact that what is being said is bad. So you have to be able to build your spirit, which he said, your spirit is your true identity. And what he means, like it's saying, he said, when we, each one of us, whether we're good or bad, no matter what good or bad, not if we, but no matter what good or bad we have done in life, it's going to be judged from our spirit, not our flesh. So what we do in the flesh, we live in the flesh, our spirit going to be matching what we lived. If we live in the spirit, then our life that we stand before Yah in the spirit gonna match the life and we standing before Yah in the spirit. Now, which one is going to be judged? If you're in the spirit, you're gonna be judged in the spirit. If you were in the flesh, in your spirit, when that's what's gonna be judged. So you're not going to be able to get eternal life that way because you served your flesh. While you had that wonderful spirit of the Most High Yah, that wonderful light, you chose to have it dimmed, no light in it, no oil. So you chose to live your flesh. And that's what Sister Deborah been teaching you all about, being on these platforms and serving all these people and praising these people and doing what your forefathers did. Idol these men on these devil platforms. And that's what the forefathers did. They did things that kings and people back in them days were doing to idol a man what he wanted to be done. But see, we're doing the same thing today. We're looking on these platforms and we idling man and not Yah. When we praising them and liking them, it's nothing wrong with liking them. It's nothing wrong with subscribing. But know who you're gonna give the praise to. You don't keep saying, oh, you so good, or you on there every day so you can give them the praise. Then how are you dealing with Yah in the spirit? You're not. That means all these years you've been satisfying what? The flesh. So the Most High wanted me to first start this off with, the first thing was identifying your spirit. Meaning you need to get in tune with who that is. That's the only thing that can worship Yah. When you go into your closet and pray, you're praying in vain. Your prayers cannot reach him out of your flesh. It has to reach him in the spirit realm. He meant it. You can't worship you can't worship him. You can't serve him in your flesh. You got to come the route of the spirit. And it's very, very easy. Very easy. It will blow your mind how easy it is. But because our flesh is wicked and evil, it just wants what it wants. It's like a person that's an alcoholic. They just want that drink. They don't care what. And they'll go to any extent to get it. Same with drugs. Okay. Now, that was one. That was the identity. He wants you to understand your true identity is in your spirit. That's the only thing going to stand before him, be judged to get eternal life or eternal damnation. So when you're taking your time down here, allowing your flesh to override your spirit and get dominion over your spirit, know where you're already heading. Okay. Now, the other one, he says the issue is based on the labor pain. He did say that this third stage that we're in is really based on, it's the overall, the way he want me to give it to you is a travail, a woman in travail, a woman in labor. So what we're about to experience, when he said he's coming, his right hand, it's like when your doctor, he's not even in that labor room with you. But when the nurse tell him they see the crown of the head, what do? He washes up. He put his gloves, or she put her gloves on, and they go in to what? To be able to grab the head and place it in the way that it needs to be to come out. And once that child is out, and have the woman had did some of the hardest pushing, and the time consuming, and the the draining, is when you have to really push and push and push and push. Women, you need to get with these men to make them understand the things that we are going through as the house of Israel and the tribe of Judah is like unto a woman in labor. And they do not know, no matter how they was in the room, they see a woman in labor, she don't want to be touched. Leave me alone, don't bother me. You see, that's the sorrow we are in. We're going to be at the point where we don't want to listen. We don't want to hear nothing. The hurt going to be so heavy. The pain going to be so hard. It's going to be so long. And we're going to act as if it's, come on here, baby, come on. That's where we at. The Most High wanted me to let you know you are in, or like unto a woman in travail, a woman in labor. Okay. Now the Most High said, he said to let them know that he don't answer to us. We answer to him. So stop trying to create in us as if he's a man that he answers to us. If we don't tune this flesh down so our spirit can get dominion over our flesh, so we can understand him better, especially during this labor period. That's what it's going to do. It's going to cause us to shout, to groan as a woman in labor. We know what that feeling is like, women. We know it. We lived it. So Yah is calling for you to give the tribe of Judah a really clear picture, our men, of what it's really like to go through this, because that's what we're about to face in this world today. And it's all set up right in front of you all, and you all can't even see it. That's why I say it's sad how they get on these platforms and they just got you all just loving them, and they're not even giving you anything, and you just in love with them. So the Most High said, stop giving your opinions. Not coming out and giving your opinions. It's no need in that. Because he said when a woman's in travail, she don't want to hear your mouth. She don't want to hear you even telling her to push. She don't want to hear your opinions. She don't want to hear none of that. And that's where you at. And stop, he said, stop thinking that he answered to you. Because he does not. Okay? He says, he says, a prophetess that is ordained and predestined in him. They are not to one, but to a multitude. You see what I'm saying? You know how many times I got on this platform and said, if I'm just here, if I can just have one, that one was to carry another and another. You see, he said that a prophetess, her message might be to one on this platform, but it has gone to the wind and it will not turn back void, meaning it's gone out. You either know how to hear it with an ear, or you be without what Yah has given unto you in a message through a prophetess. A prophetess wasn't one that just people just come in and kill. And that's another thing a lot of you all don't understand. You have to really understand what a prophetess is. She wasn't the one that got murdered. She was the one that told the multitude of the house of Israel and the tribe of Judah. She judged not just the one, but those that were prophetess. Notice how the Most High always let you know who were their husband. He always let you know that, but before he told you who the husband was, He told you who she was to him. Oh, hallelujah. Hallelujah, Father. You just stuck that one on in there. You get it? When you go into your biblical and you pull out these verses regarding the prophet, and when they begin to describe her, who a prophetess is, not a prophet, but a prophetess, he always lets you know who she is to him. And then who she is to her husband. And I love that because that shows me as a person that a lot of them on this devil platform think that a woman has to answer and bow to them and them first and put them on pedestals and put them kings and leaders and rulers and do everything he said before they're able to worship the creator. The Most High said that is not so. Go back to your word. Any woman that's called to be a prophetess, she first has to be a prophetess of the Most High Yah. And then the beauty came afterward, letting you know who her husband was or who she was the wife of. Trying to send a message, she's first mine. That's how the Most High rumble. But we miss it every time because we are led by the voice of man versus the voice of Yah. So he wanted me to let you all know his prophetess speaks unto the multitude, not one. You get it? Because when it goes out, he said, I give it unto her. Not for her, because she can represent just that one. I want you all to understand I send her for the multitude. Okay? And he's not just talking about Sister Deborah. He's talking about anybody that he sends out and appoint and anoint and predestined before the foundation of the world as a prophetess. Go back to the biblical and you read what the prophetess were. They were always those that he first category first as a prophetess and the wife of. So that's why you have some of the people who gets all reared up when you say you're a prophetess. They are lost without a cause. And people do not understand how people are so afraid. They are so intimidated by Yah's prophets and prophetess. It is so deep, especially the prophetess. They are so, they just so hurt and bent when someone said they are prophetess. They ain't gonna ever let her speak. And I hear this one man even teaching, what his name, whatever his name is. And he always talking and he always belittle a woman to make sure a woman is so belittled. But he don't understand the Most High told me as a prophetess in the wilderness. The reason why men has to belittle women and put them down low is because those are spirits that keep them feeling that they hear if they got someone else down below. And then he began to tell me that's why the tribe of Judah and the tribe of the house of Israel end up where they're at in slavery, because he's seen you slave many women, many girls, many boys. He's seen that, and he brought you to a land to give you a taste of your own honey. And you came here with that same mentality. I'm going to bring her low and make her only be, to me, what I want her to be, without allowing her to be what the greatest had called her to be before the foundation of the world, before she ever even looked at you and you looked at her. Her calling was predestined. But he said what they do is it's such a heavy demonic spirit that have gripped the nation of men, and it all falls into this one category, this one accord, till they just riding off of each other. But right now, today, we are in labor like a woman in travail. He have said throughout the Genesis all the way through Revelation, giving an example. Doesn't that mean something to you all, men? That he took our pain, pain and hurt, to be an example for you. He called you daughter Israel and the tribe of Judah. He called you his wife. He called you his bride. You see, he called the earth mother. All these things he's been doing throughout time to get you to have the respect for what he created her to be. And did he not let you rumble with her any way you wanted? He let you do it all these years. Just as you said, 400 years in slavery. We've been in here 400 years. And it still feel like it's not over. But it's over. It's where you at here. Are you here in spirit? Or are you here in flesh? Are you free in spirit? Or are you free in flesh? When we call it awakening, we're awakening to flesh. But when you call redeemed and delivered, you are redeemed and delivered in spirit. Okay, the next one is, this is going to get a little deep, you all. The next one is, stay away from playing role. He said we need to take off our role playing clothes, okay? Because and stop looking to participate in all these role playing. We need to take off our clothes, our role playing clothes, trying to look the part, trying to speak the part, trying to act the part, trying to talk the part, trying to move the part, trying to appear the part. Take off them role-playing clothes, he said. He can see straight through you. If he called you, you ain't got no business having the clothes on, period. And that's what I'm calling a lot of the elects. Take off the role-playing clothes. He see you. He see you naked. He see you. Okay? And so he said, take off all that role-playing. That's hypocrite. You being a hypocrite, and you portraying what he have not called you to do or to be. So you're still in your flesh, feeling satisfied and complete. And it's all well with him. And just like I said to you women, he allowed them to take you and use you that way. But see, they don't understand why they came over, because they keep blaming the one that has treated them in the slavery versus the one that put them in slavery and sat and watched. And not just sat and watched things take place, saw everything before the foundation of the world take place. See, that's how deep you begin to know who he is when you're walking with him in spirit. He sees it twice. While you ain't even saw it yet. You still trying to mumble and jumble and teach people what it is, and you still lost without a cause. He done seen it twice. He's seen it before the foundation of the world and when it come to pass. When that black man and two black men and another black man in the middle and two black women hanging for a tree, you think he didn't see that? He saw that in the heavens before it even hit the earth. So he saw it twice. How do you think he must have felt? But what he saw even greater was the things that you had done before he even put you into your own honey. And you have not, and you refuse to precept that and line that and a little that, because it's too deep for you to handle. To see the ugliness of the person of your forefathers and who they breed, which is you and your father and so on and so on, to where you at now, all you can do is blame somebody else because everything else is too deep. But he really gave you a taste of your own honey. See, it's good for you to do. He said your strangers, your maids, your daughters were sold to men for what? Money, prostituting. And everybody made it okay. So what if that's what Abraham son for Isaac? That still ain't way you do that. And just because he did it does not make it what pleases Yah. See, that's what people don't understand. So they take everything man does and make it righteous. And fail to realize, wait a minute, hold up. Let's see what Yah said. Did Yah say do it that way? Did Yah give us an example? Wait a minute, let's see Yeshua HaMashiach. Let's see if the apostle did it. Let's see if the prophet, just see if somebody else did this like this. They don't never go back and see. They don't know, never go back and read that this was not the righteous way of doing things. But they did it. He said not a word. It's almost like when he said in the Garden of Eve, man has become like one of us, knowing the two. Okay, I gave him a light. That is good. And I gave him flesh. Now he is flesh that knows the difference between the two. Now, which one he's going to live by? They 99.9, they live by the flesh, even to today. And they take things, and that's why our brothers get so confused about the things that their forefathers did. They think they were supposed to drag it back to 2020 and rehearsal it and practice it and claim it. And they didn't understand that you don't want to claim what they did. Because if the truth be told, you can't just reach to Abraham and Isaac and Jacob and say, oh, they the best. No, you got to reach to your true forefathers. See, they erased the true forefathers that the Bible speaks of from the beginning to the end, warning us of how destructive the forefathers were. Isaac, Jacob, and them, they wasn't that like that. But see, that's the one they pull out. They don't understand your forefather is deeper than that. And they did things to the Most High Yah to where their children continue it even to today, making it right. So when I think about how I've seen a couple of verses, I think I'm gonna do a search in the biblical and ask the Most High Yah to if the Ruach would work with me on pulling out something that can help our women to understand that I believe there's something about you that is sealed. It's something about these females because it's just, you've been through slavery with your men. All they use you for is sex, having babies, working and laboring, and doing all these things. And even when they talk up to you and use the word to sling all over your head and slap you in the head with, they'll never find a virtuous woman in there, one of them women. That from the Genesis to Revelation, they will never find it. So how is it that you in this day and time entitled to it? And they, in the Old Testament and the New, never had it. Sarah was not a virtuous woman. Not a virtuous. Sarah was not a Proverb 31 woman. You don't hear that. Nothing in scripture describes Sarah as a Proverbs 31. And not Isaac's wife, and not now one of Jacob's wife is listed as a Proverb 31. So why must you pressure women today to be something that you and no man on the face of the earth is entitled to? You got to grip that spiritual. What is Yah saying spirit? He calls you everything outside of a man when he said he is married to you. He calls you everything that has to do with a female. Okay? As his bride. He didn't even have to have that type of connection. He could have left it as my saints and my children. But he wants the world to know that he has a deeper relationship as a woman to the world. Not to the world, but to the tribe of Judah and the tribe of Israel. The whole house of Israel. That woman. But we erased it. We never caught on to it. We never gripped it, nor never were we able to interpret exactly what he was saying. So what do? They find books all over the place to best describe to you that they know what they say they know. But does those books outride what comes out of the mouth of Yah? Or are they just men study talking that gives you no redeeming to look forward toward anything to be redeemed? Or no redeeming power? Nothing. Okay? So the one thing he wants you to know is, okay, there are things coming on the earth today that's way beyond what you can understand. he said that now they're saying about the corolla, whatever that virus, but it's the CDC germ that they put out. They stated today that it is swarming the black community. Now it's just all over the place. The elites underground knows who we are. They all know who we are. And we won't grip it at all. Because the way we still feeding our flesh. We want to stay in an awakening movement. While everybody else know who we are. It's time for them to work on getting rid of us. Because see, their whole ideal, if we can get rid of them, then the Father ain't going to have nothing to come and battle with or for. That's the ignorance of how the demonic spirits has misled them, and they are in great delusion, thinking that they're going to do away with us. And that's what their next step is. And how they're going to get to there is they're going to take every professional Negro man and use them till they can't use them up anymore to go up against his own tribe of Judah. They already done started and doing a hell of a job. And their whole idea is to get rid of a people so that it won't be revealed or it won't come to the surface that we are the people. So they're trying to not so much as defeat you. They're trying to defeat the plan of Yah. While you're sitting here fighting against Yah yourself. So he's fighting for you and you're fighting against him. Because when you're out here taking the lives of his people, his children, in a nation in which he is fighting spiritual for you, and you're killing each other up. You're wanting his praise while he's in war for you. You're taking all his praise on these platforms and thinking you're entitled and you're worthy. When we need to be, even tonight, repent for doing exactly that. We don't think he's entitled to anything outside of listening to you and you get the praise, the likes, the subscribers. Oh, you said this, you talked this, you said this, you right. Well, when is y'all right? When is the praises going to go up so the blessing can come down? He said he heard not no cry. But in spite of how we have done him throughout time, even to today, he's still coming for us. Oh, it's time. We in labor. And it ain't got hard yet, but it's going to get there. Okay, so he wants you all to know that they already put a sign and a deliver on your head. Okay, it's called Black People's Community. The new black community is spreading with the coronavirus. And if you all have not heard it, even in your community, this is how they're going to do it. Now, if they said it in my state, just imagine what New York and everywhere else that's outside, that's actually marching. So they're really preparing to take you all out during this time. So if you're not in the right place spiritual, like the first start identifying who you are in the spirit, you ain't going to have the strength to endure the labor pain. You just going to faint out. Okay? And you're going to freak out. Because Sister Deborah, let me tell you all, I can't understand it. I can't explain to you. I don't watch TV. I don't get on YouTube finding out what's all going on. Why? Because mentally, I won't be able to handle it without losing it. So the Most High keeps me away and told me not to get involved. Someone kept on telling me what they doing. I had to tell them, don't tell me none of that. Anything he wants me to know, he's going to abide in me. And he's going to commune with me. I don't need to hear, oh, they doing this, they doing that. I don't need to hear all of that. Only thing that I need to hear is when he telling me what I need to hear. Like when I heard that the black community is spreading corona, whatever that CDC germ all over the community. Tell me it already been tested and shown that it's spread all over the black people's community. Talking about because they out here marching. I'm going to call it marching. I'm not going to say what they say it is, because everything that I'm learning through the spirit is it's a setup. It's a part of the birth pain. So it's a life that's set up from the floor. And it's just something we're about to behold that's going to be heavier than we ever. And we thought that this country was fighting beside us. A lot of people think those white people that's in the midst of us is working with us. They're working against you. They're working against you. They were set there to keep this fire going. They even doing things amongst the people, and they filming it as black people, and everybody is saying, do you hear people talking about it? And the reason why I say you hear them talking about it is because I have 4 sons, and they're trying to get me to understand what is going on is out of whack to them. Did you know they doing this? I'm going to give you a clip of what they were telling me. But see, I already know that in my spirit. I know they doing it. It's a setup. That's why I said this is not the Most High said about George. Don't worry about George. Don't get every man born to live and every man born to die. No one can pluck anything out of his mighty hand. Okay? Things are going to take place because we're in... It's like the let me tell you how to George was like the you know how you're in labor and your water break. Let's put it like that. Your water break. Okay, that's where we at. Okay, and that's what George was. The water broke in this labor, the start of the labor. And no, let me kind of give something else. There is it's a mucus thing that we release when we are in labor. And George could even be that. But I would say either George was the water breaking or that mucus cord that normally we normally pass during our early labor. Okay. So what is happening now is we're starting the labor pains, and who's to say how long it's going to be, but I will guarantee you this without a doubt. Now, when I speak of the right hand, I'm going to tell you something. Whatever you do, don't get Yah angry to the point he have to use his right hand, because it's something that all 4 corners of the earth is going to be whole. That's how powerful that right hand is. So he also wanted me to let you know that they're going to be doing testing, and they're going to be claiming in your community that, oh, the coronavirus is out in the community. And then that's when they're going to start doing martial law in your community, forcing you to take the vaccine and to get into quarantine again. They're going to really press forward. My son just told me earlier today that, now listen to this really big mall that's over in the Caucasian community. They were knocking out windows and looting. I think that's what they call it when they go in there and buy and everything. He said, Mama, you had to see all the white people stealing. You didn't even see no blacks, but they trying to connect. I said, what do you mean? He said, Mama, police had white people down on the floor with the handcuffs, and you see all these white people, you don't see no black, but they connected to black people. That shows me how severe it has gotten. But I will say to you all this, but the Most High has informed me that the fake kings and leaders that been on this devil platform feeding you for years and years, you'll never see none of them out there standing up, talking to their brothers, saying we can't do this. They setting us up. They setting us up, y'all. Let's not do this. Because they don't want to do nothing like that. Because they only want to be at reach for you, to deceive you. They're deceiving more on the devil platform than the drawing more to Yah by going out and turning the hearts of their brothers back to the Most High. They're not going to do that. But they're going to remain on this devil platform. And you know what they did? He was saying how they are so excited in their spirit, in their wicked spirit. They are so marveling off the fact that they burning this up, they burning that, they doing this and they doing that. And he said they don't even see the death, the corruption, the sorrow. They haven't even recognized they're in labor because they so busy trying to tell you what they out there doing, and they are crooked. They don't have the right. They don't have the authority to be on this devil platform telling you what they're out there doing when you're not out there doing what you're supposed to be doing. If you say that you're in the body of Hamashiach, where's your position? Where's your calling? That's sad. But the Most High had to give me that. That's why I've been telling you all about men in the tribe of Judah, especially. They are refusing to do anything to turn right in any way. Their best glory is to get a woman in captivity to them. That they should be tired of that, because Yah has given them that women in captivity to them since Genesis. They've been in captivity. They're sold their daughters to men for money. They're sold their women, their maids. We were like, back in those days, were like property being sold for sex. And then they come here, they raping our women. What were you doing back then? Having as many wives if you want them, doing the same thing. The reason why you end up here, when we tell you the deepest part, is Yah said he was giving you a taste of your own honey because you've been eating honey from the beginning to the time you got on that ship. And then you get over here with that same mentality of your forefathers. He said, you can't grab Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Those are the seed. The S-E-D-E-D. Those are the seed. And what is the seed? The one he sent from the heaven. So you can't take your forefathers and your forefathers, your fathers, and he's trying to get you to understand. You can't take them and bring them to the forefront of 2020 and try to repeat what they do. Because they were some ugly people. That's why you were you at. And you're still repeating what they did and worse. And still can't see the error of what brought you here. But let's get back to this childbearing. This child labor, this labor in which you are in. So in this Galleria Mall here in St. Louis, my son was saying that the news had them. They had them all lined up and showing you all these white people. This is a gigantic mall. He said, Mom, they was white. So what they're doing is they're pretending to be with us, but really they're against us. They're heating the fire. And those that's out there, which I said the other day, my babies, they out there with no justice and no righteous, thinking that they doing the right thing because that's what they consider righteous and justice. Why? Because people like us sits on platforms like this. And we feed people at a distance, and people praising and glorifying us like we are God. And we are nothing. Yah be the glory at all times. All praise be unto him. We need to be crying out and repenting and pleading for his forgiveness. But they ain't gonna do that because they loving your praise that you give them, your likes, your subscribers. And all of that's gonna cease. Sister Deborah said it 5 or 6 weeks ago. A lot of them that's on here, they've been on here 16, 20, 30, 15, 10 years. That's just been wild, or just how would I say it? They're swimming in their on their site and just thinking they just God most gift to YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and Patreon, whatever the other place is called. And they don't even understand what the Most High God prepared for them. Okay. Now, another one was an experience. People are on unemployment, receiving employment wages. The United States of America is so corrupted to where United States snakes of America only passing money to the wealthy. And they shutting us up with constantly keep saying, we're going to give this little 1,200. So in their process of constantly keep giving to the wealthy, I've already told y'all a lot of these companies is going to close down. They're not going to reopen. They taking the money and run. Yes, famine is here and pestilence, but it's finna come in a way that you have never seen, because we're about to go through some things. Okay, now what they did is there is people who are on unemployment, and there are companies that people used to work with maybe years ago. They're taking your information and reapplying you as a new employee, because the companies like Temp Service, and one of them is Ron Staff, they're taking you and putting you in the system as a new hire so they can also gain that money that the government is giving to companies for employees. That's deep. That is so deep. So when I heard about this, my heart is so troubled about it, because that lets me know how cunning the snake is and how he just going in every corner and doing things. And we are walking around talking about we awakening. What are you awakened to? You've been asleep. You dead sleep. You ain't awakened. You are dead sleep. So as the Temp Service and other companies, they are putting information in the system just to grab that government funds that the government is pouring out to them. Now, let me explain something to you all. And a lot of you, 99.9, are not aware of. The United States of America, Democratic, had passed, the House had passed the idea of giving a second stimulus. But because of what the tribe of Judah is doing, now they turned away from it. You tell me, ain't that deep? Trump still agreed that we should give everybody a stimulus check. But the Democratic now changed their whole mind. See, that shows you the racist level of mentality that's in the government system. And their whole plan is to destroy us. And they feel, well, this is the way we're going to do it. You know? Now, they done already passed and approved this money, this PPP and all this money for people to give to their employees. But the Temp Service and many other jobs are taking people's Social Security, filling out W-4 and filling out W-4 packages stating they got these employees in this system of their company and grabbing the money and running. They're not running, but they're doing it successful. And nobody up on it. They're doing it very successful. So people that's on unemployment, they're going to start nitpicking with them and stopping them from getting. They're going to say, well, wait a minute, I ain't working. Oh, it says here that you are a new hire for this company. You're going to say, well, I worked there 2 years ago. I ain't worked there. Oh, yes, you do. They got you in the system because they stealing the government money has set them so high that greed has overshadowed them. So when Sister Deborah sees stuff like this and have to take on the thought of it, then I have to call to the Father. You see, because it is totally something that I really can't deal with. And I can be on this platform talking to you all day and night, but the trouble of my heart is heavy. Now, just what I just said to you, it hurt me. Because it shows me how the snake is so cunning and how he's coming every way. Now, the Democrat had already approved a new stipend for the people. Now, with me, I'm good. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm good. But see, I just always was created to be concerned about people more so than myself. My kids said, Mama, why do you don't never do nothing for yourself? Why do you keep spending or doing for others? I can't help that. I've been like that since I was a little girl. Thought I was going to save all the poor people in the world. And I'm still like that. Blessed be the name of the Most High Yah. So, I'm going to let you all know that what is actually going on with the the marching and all, when the government gonna halt all the money, not all, because it wasn't money that they was going to give you. It was a cover up money. It's death row money. Okay, it's money we're going to give you before we take the next step. That's why you're in the labor, because they have plotted everything to the T, and they got everything working against you and towards you, while you're still talking about you awakening on these devil platforms. It's no reason why these men on this devil platform couldn't be out there telling these people and communing with these people, or these pastors. They're on every corner of the church. Nobody, because all of them have been deceiving you, especially the Hebrew Israelites. They have been deceiving great numbers of people. And that's why they can't come forward. They back in the back telling you what's going on, and they are marveling. These men on this devil platform are marveling off of what our babies are out there doing. Because they looking at it all. They doing this and they doing it. But they ain't seeing the lives, the pain and the hurt that they're actually going through out there. Because they thinking they on righteous time. They thinking they on justice time. They on unrighteous time. They on injustice. And we're putting them out for it. While we stand in here and buckle up and hide and won't tie up our bootlaces and behind the pulpit, trying to give a message to someone. All that's going to cease. While in labor, you're not going to be able to gain those likes, those subscribers, and you're not going to be able to be uplifted like you once used to. You're going to be shut down and cut down, because you're in labor. And as it gets harder and harder, we women know what it's like. That's why I said, men, you got to step down on this one. Because for so long, he have put you in a position. He have given this devil platform for you to be able to touch and reach the hem of these people in some way or another. But what is going on, we won't even go out knowing they in danger. It's just like if your son was drowning in a swimming pool, wouldn't you go out and reach for him? Wouldn't you? If you know a friend was finna drive a car and he don't have no brakes, when you go out there and stop him and tell him don't drive it? Well, what is it more if you so darn awakening that you can't go out and by numbers and minister to them people in every state? I know they ain't doing it in Missouri, and they ain't going to do it because they love this devil platform. They love being up in Babylon, not up out. They like to be up in her. They don't want to be out of her and do the will of the Father. They want to be all up in her. And that's where they at. They're not out of her. They all up in her, telling you, don't let people who sits far out in the deep, somewhere way left field, tell you what's going on and you in the inner city experiencing it. How dare them tell you? They're the one out hiding, thinking that they're going to escape it, and they don't understand. The birth pain is real. You can't escape it. Even the epidural ain't going to give you no 100. When it come down to pushing, you still going to have to do some work. And if you escape the birth pain, it's the trouble of life still set before you. So you still, women, you have the children, they're grown. You still turmoil with them. You still hurt. What goes through, what they go through, what they suffer through, you still. So you never get out of it. That's why you can tell these men something. Because you can't even escape it even after you have the baby. You with them to their life. You're suffering with them, you're going through with them, crying and just worried about them in life. Because you still detached to them. That's how important you are. So I, Sister Deborah, would say to you all, there's a lot of things, like I said, is going on, and the Most High Yah want you to know that the house of Israel and the tribe of Judah, especially the tribe of Judah, is connected to the woman in travail, which is in labor. And that's what we are going through in this third stage. Now, from what I can understand, there's not going to be a fourth stage. So the third stage, I told somebody, I don't know for sure. I have to get it from the Most High Yah. It's almost like that if he's going to birth us and pull our head out during the time where the hard part of the labor is taking long time pushing out, then I know that that is victory without a doubt. Where do we go from here? Only he knows. But those that are around us and have caused us to go through great sorrow and pain and suffering, oh, they're going to be done away with. It's going to come out the way he has it planned. That's why he told me that his right hand is going to be at the end of it, his right hand. So it makes sense when he gives me the word of a woman in travail, because he's going to be that doctor that takes that head. Once she's pushing, that's when the tremendous shoulders and the head is trying to come. He's going to turn that head the right direction and birth us out. And I thank him for that. I give him glory and an honor. And I want you to all to understand the white supremacists, the skinheads, and the KKK is also going to come in, and they're going to be involved in a great number of things that's going to take place. And they all in it together. But know that this, a woman that's in travail, the child do and are birth. And once it's over, she can't remember that pain. She don't remember that pain. Let's go. Let me give you a verse to add on to that. Let me give you something for that. Let's go to John 16 and 21. John 16, the Gospel of John 16 and 21. John 16 and 21. A woman, when she is in travail, have sorrow, because her hour is come. But as soon as she is delivered of the child, she remember no more anguish, for joy that a man is born. So I'm saying to you, it's a new thing that the Most High is going to bring forth after delivering the tribe of Judah and the house of Israel. Now we're going to go to Malachi 4, verse 9 and 10. Malachi. Oh. Malachi chapter 4, verse 10. That's such a short chapter there. 4 and verse 10. Now, verse 9. No, it's Malachi chapter 4, verse 9 and 10. Now, why doeth thou crieth out loud? Women, he's not talking to you. So don't say nothing. He's not talking to you. Let's read that again. Now, why do thou cry out loud? Well, it's asking you a question. Why are you crying out loud? He's talking to the men. Watch this here. Is there no king in thee? See, that's what Sister Deborah be talking about. Ain't no king in you. You out there crying out loud. Where's the king in you? It ain't there. Listen to what he's saying, though. Listen to what he's saying. Why? Because doing this turmoil and doing this woman in tribute, look how they buckling up and shaking and scared in their boots. I see it because I can discern it. You all can't see it because you thinking you done put them up here where you can't see the reality down here in them. You can't see in their eyes that they distant from what they used to teach you. They ain't the same person that been teaching you 5, 10, 16 years. It's something wrong with that. You don't see them on there like you used to, because they are not who they were from the beginning. But you worship them like a god, like an idol. Okay? Now, It says in Malachi chapter 4, verse 9. Now, why do thou cry it out loud? Is there no king in thee? Is thy counselors perished? Where's your counselor? YouTube? Are you on here? What's going on? Okay, it's asking the question. For pains have taken thee as a woman in travail, in birth. That's what these here is going on. It has taken you. And you ain't no king in you. Where's your counselors? That's Sister Deborah sitting here saying to y'all right now in this message. That's what I was telling you at the beginning. Where they at? They're behind the pulpit telling you we got to pray. On every corner you see churches, but you don't see nobody going out there to minister to the people. That we don't need to do it this way. They setting us up. So the many of us that's out there, the more they can kill. And it's the less they have to deal with. But they're going to go after each other. Eventually, they're going to be nation against nation, like we have been throughout time, going against our own nation. Sad, but it's the truth. Okay, now listen to this, verse 10. Be in pain and labor to bring forth, O daughter of Zion. Like a woman in travail, for now shall thou go forth out of the city, and thou shalt dwell in the field, and thou shalt go even to Babylon. There shall thou be delivered. There the Lord shall redeem thee from the hands of thy enemies. See that? He set it up like a birth of a woman in travail. But Yah will deliver you. And I want you to always keep that in mind. Sister Deborah mean that. I mean it because Yah has spoken it to my spirit to give unto you. No matter how it look and how bad it's going to get, you know how when you birthing a child and the pain and how hard it get, but after it's over, Yah will have you in his hand. So let's go to Psalms 48 and 6. I want you all to understand that it ain't nothing too hard for the Most High Yah. Learn, I ask you all to learn, like he said, about your spirit, right? Put your spirit, identify your spirit. Let your spirit has dominion over your flesh. Don't let it call shots. Okay? And always pray and not cease. You hear a bishop talking about it's time to pray. It's been time to pray. He ain't told you to stop. But that's the best they can do. Okay? Psalms 48 and 6. Psalms 48 and 6. Fear took hold upon them there, and pain as a woman in travail. That's exactly the way I feel and what I can discern. It has taken hold of these men on this devil platform. Even though I knew that they weren't who they said that they are and have been to you all. But I'm just saying to you all, the reason why you know they definitely ain't who they say they are, because we but we see them on every corner of the state of the United States. In every state, they rest there in numbers. It's no reason why they can't go to those babies and tell them this is not the way to do it. Now, if they continue to do it, then at least you say you did step out, Father. But they ain't going to step out for the Father. They ain't going to step out and be who they said that they are. Just like in John 16 and 21. Where are you? It was said, the king. You say, no, that was Malachi chapter 4, verse 9 and 10. Well, you say, well, king, where are you, king? Where is your counselor? See, that's where you at now on these platforms. And even if they run into what's that other new, it ain't new patriot or whatever. I don't care what they run. You can't run, you can't hide. The birth pain is going to be real and you about to feel it. Okay. Now, I want to just take you to Isaiah 53. Isaiah 53. We're dealing with a woman in travail. in labor. Okay. And I want to explain to you all, men, that there's a reason why the Most High Yah would allow a woman to go through what he has took a ribbon in Genesis all the way to Revelation and always wrapped the whole word up with is a woman in travail. He lined that with everything. Now, when he finished lining it up with sorrow and pain, don't you think women have suffered enough? If she had to have it in reality to bring forth your nation, and all she has to look forward to is to be a slave unto you, because that's really, the women don't understand it. That's what you be. If you have no leader in you to be not ruler, but to lead even your husband into the light, because he could be in darkness, you still lost without a cause, because you're running under the authority of what man says in the book and not what came out of the mouth of Yah. If what man says does not, you do not read out of the mouth of Yah, don't take it for face value. Just read it to study, to show thyself. Only thing you should take it to your bosom is what comes out of the mouth of Yah. Now, if man saying something that comes out of the mouth that the Most Yah has said, not he said, Yah said, no, but did Yah say it to him before he said it to you? See, that's how you got to get that. It's a lot in there when he said, study to show thyself approved, rightly dividing the word of truth. There's some power in that. But no one wants to see that, because we're still want to learn in our flesh. That's the only thing we want to please right now in this day and time is our flesh. Now, this here is Isaiah 53 and 11. Isaiah 53 and 11. And he shall see of the travail of his soul, and shall be satisfied. By his knowledge shall my righteous servant justify many, for he shall bear their iniquity. See, what he's saying is the lamb, the travail, he already seen what he had to go through. You see? He already seen his suffering, and what he had to go through. Now, what do he have to do now? Even after seeing what he had to do, go through it. You all ain't seen it. Could care less to see it. But you're going to go through it now. Because your forefathers went through it. It was prophesied. It was laid out to you. It was told to you, and told even how you can really kind of soften. But no one wants to do that, because they want to serve their flesh. So right now, what is taking place is a setup of the Most High Yah. And in that setup, it's really to destroy the enemy, to let them know who you really are to him. So he's going to have to show up and show out. And I know he's going to show out, because when he said that right hand, I knew what time it was. I don't care about none of y'all Hebrew and Israelites and y'all tribe of Judah. When they come down to his right hand, let me tell you something. That's that one that every knee going to bow down to. The power of that homicida. Y'all better wake up and understand what's going on. So, did I read Isaiah 11? Yes, Isaiah 53 and 11. So that's talking about the Lamb. Okay, knowing his mission. Just like you. You should know your mission right now. And you run around here talking about an awakening. Awaken to what? If you're awakening, you don't know your purpose in Yah. You don't know your destiny. You don't know if you were predestined, ordained, appointed, and anointed. You don't know where you fit in the body of Hamashiach, but you so awakened, you better lay down and go back to sleep and wake up again. Okay, let's go to the last chapter. This is the last verse, and that's Romans 8 and 22. I hope you all are getting something out of this. And women, I'm telling you, you better get with the program and realize that, wait a minute, this creator set something up for you that's so beautiful. He turned around and wrapped the whole word in an example of a woman in travail. A woman in birth. The pain that took place in the garden all the way to the end of Revelation, even to now, is compared to you and what you've gone through in life. You tell me that ain't deep. Then he turned around and called everything that's dear to him a woman, a daughter, a bride, a wife. Come on, Mother Earth. Come on, you more than what they have labeled you to be. And that's why they end up over here, and we are their daughters. So we end up over here as well. But we don't. You have to understand, you are bought with a price. You have to know that. You don't need a man to tell you that. You need to have a relationship spirit with the Most High Yah, so He can explain that to you in the spirit realm, so you can be able to even teach and let that light shine. See, when Yeshua said He was coming to fulfill, He said, look, let me tell y'all something. Y'all here to do everything else, but I'm not here for that. He said, I didn't come for your laws, and I didn't come for your profit. I come to cap something off to the fullness and fulfill it. What was that? That was your lamp. We all have a lamp, which is a light that Yah put in us. He comes to put the oil in it, and that is Christ. Did He come to put it halfway, partial? No, to fulfill it. And to fulfill it, after He fulfilled it, it was sealed when He was crucified. Glory to be. Thank you, Father Yah. So Sister Deborah would hope that you got something out of this. This is a wonderful lesson, and I hope you got a lot out of it. And I hope you women really start to dig deep. Learn this word, but learn it in the order of spirit and truth, not in flesh. Because when you learn it in spirit and truth, you begin to realize every man's a lie. And every word comes out of the mouth of Yah is truth. And every man is a lie. When you know Him in spirit and truth, every gift that He has is only spiritual. You can't even be in the body of Hamansia until you are spirit. Because no one serves Him in the flesh, but only in spirit. So I say unto you, I hope you all enjoyed this message. I know it was a length of time, but the Most High gave me His part of a woman in travail. So I'm going to go on and label that. But I want to let you all know that they are setting up this thing to really destroy us as a people. And yes, it's going to be some things going on, y'all. I didn't think I would live to see it, but my hope is in that right hand. Let them do what they're going to do. Think the way they want to think. It's because they already know. They already know who we are, and we fail to understand who we are. We think we are YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and these messages on here. We don't even know who we are, but we're about to find something out, because they now are going to see that we are the people of the Most High Yah. We are the children of the Most High Yah. We are the apple of His eyes, because He's finna show out and show out. He's finna show up and show out. When they think they got us, He's going to bring us forth. He's going to grab that head and take it from there. See, they think they're going to run everything down on us, and they already did it, and it's just amazing. I had to go off on a young lady that I knew in high school, grade school. She's a CEO over some clinics. I told her, only one time I'm going to tell you, and one time only, you stand down. Stop trying to get my people to be tested. Stop trying to do that, because once they get you to test them, they're going to get you to inject my people. Stand down. That's your one chance. She don't stand down, it's on. You know why she has to stand down, but she might not? This is the same young lady. She's a CEO. She came to me one night and wanted me to hear what was going on with mama and sister. He said, she said. You know what I told her? Ho! Don't say nothing else to me. How dare you come telling me all about this? He say, she say, and your husband is about to lose his life. From that day, The next day, he found out he had cancer all in his body. They had no idea. Don't mess with me. Why? It has nothing to do with Deborah. But I'm telling you, when I told her, one chance and one chance only. Don't go speeding. Don't go messing with my people. Testing them. For what? You're testing them for a virus, but yet you're taking their blood in all these places, donating their blood. Y'all, did you know those places where they donate blood has been open? But yet you, wait a minute, hold up, wait a minute. How are you taking blood? Because the underground power need all the blood that they can get. They take that underground. They are preparing for the war with Yah. They thinking that, okay, he said he coming from high, so we going to prepare high as if he ain't going to know that where you at under. See, because they got you all food. They ain't got me food. The whole city, the world is ran under the ground. And guess where the headquarters is at? In Israel. That's why y'all need to stop thinking, oh, I better go home. You have to understand where home at. Home is where Yah is and what he prepared. It's no way Moses nor the house of Israel could have pinpointed where was the wilderness or the land of milk and honey. They couldn't have pinpointed a day in their life until he took them there. So we as people stop trying to go places and be things and do things that Yah has not predestined us to do. But learn to get up under those that he has called to the body of Hamashiach, because that's where your help is going to come from. That's where your healing is going to come from. That's where your deliverance is going to come from. He's going to send the same ones he sent before. He's going to send them in that same way to lead and guide you. So don't think that everything you're hearing on these platforms is awakening you. You ain't awakened. You still asleep. Ha! Shalom, shalom. See you later.